We're live? All right. We're live. Welcome, everybody. It's Nathan and Brock here.
Hello.
Still in LA. Still quarantined. Another week.
Yeah.
Another week. This is definitely the passing of time, for sure. Every week, every Thursday. We did move it to a little bit earlier for our East Coast peoples. I think some people are a little confused, but we were thinking that 11 a.m., 2 p.m. East Coast is a little bit better, for especially all the parents out there trying to cook dinner.
We're still timing it around Judah's nap.
No.
We're missing that window.
No, you might hear my 2-year-old dissonant drone through the walls. And that's just how he is right now.
And that's life.
That is definitely life. You also might hear my dog barking. But
You also might hear Austin barking.
Oh man, well, thank you for joining us. We were thinking about today, and Brock's got a bunch of songs he's been working on, and I thought it would be fun to hear Brock play them. And Brock reluctantly said yes. No,
I'm excited.
He's a good sport.
I'm excited. They're like, not finished, but they're on their way. It's like there's something. There's going to be something.
Yeah. It feels cool to hear the work in progress and realize that we actually can share that whole progress. It doesn't have to be perfect, and
Yeah.
it never is. It's just...
Well, that's kind of what we've always done, right? Just kind of piece together songs live in front of people. This feels like a continuation of that for sure.
So we're going to do a little bit of that. We actually have been doing a little Instagram cover contest the past couple of weeks.
Yes.
You might not have seen it, but so we been seeing a lot of people do their own versions of Will's song "Not in a Hurry," and we had the thought, since most people are home, why don't we do a little contest and have people send in their version of it, their take, put their own personality and artistry into it. So we had, I don't know, probably more than 100 people
Submissions?
send in covers, maybe more.
Crazy.
And we then went through every one of them.
Yes.
And we tried to pick our top 5, but we ended up picking the top 7 because there were just so many good ones. And we narrowed them down, and then 2 days ago we posted them, and I think almost 2,000 people commented their favorite. So we tallied the votes this morning. We have a winner, but we're going to make you wait to the end. We'll say who won. So
We do know, though, right?
we do know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's proven who won.
Okay.
Thanks to Google spreadsheets. We actually counted every one, so there's no tricks.
And then we're hoping to get the winner on the stream at some point, right? Not today, but next
not
week.
Not today. I wish we could, but I think next week we should have whoever wins jump on and at least say hi, but maybe play a tune or two.
Yeah.
If we can pull it off. Did anybody see last week we had John Mark McMillan on? That was fun.
Yeah, he's amazing.
That was
such a good guest.
That was a good time. So I think we're starting to figure out how to bring in people remotely from other places, and we just can barely do it. So give us a little more time, and
we might got the kinks.
We might be able to just get it where it's not so difficult for us.
We're gonna put Austin's head Ethernet directly into the computer.
Yeah. Shout out to our ninja sound guy.
Yes.
And he's also my brother.
Yes.
And my housemate. He's everything. And he's an uncle to my kids.
Yes. So proud. You guys are a power couple.
Yeah. And many days we dress alike, and we come out of the room or each other's room, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, yep, we're wearing the exact clothes.
Gray sweatpants?
Twins.
Gray sweatpants and a black tee.
Excellent choice.
Scallop cut? Yeah.
I digress.
We all do.
So, Brock, what kind of songs are you writing these days? What's on your mind? What's on your heart? Where are you at, man?
Well, these are actually songs I've been tinkering with for a while. I'll get a verse, I got some of the verses for this like maybe a year and a half ago. Well, yeah, another one maybe 2 years ago. And then I'll come back to it and kind of sit with it a little bit and think about it. But I think these are songs about telling the whole story. So where my head's been at is kind of like, I think the Bible is really good at telling the whole story. Not just the good parts or the victorious parts or the parts that we want to see or look at, but they said, we get to read about everything.
Yeah.
Where we messed up, where we kind of fumbled it. And so I was just thinking I would hate this generation to miss out, this generation of people of faith to miss out on the chance to tell the whole story. Mm. So these are probably, all of these songs are based on my experiences just kind of in and out of church and the effort to just tell the whole story. Hmm. So you should hear some of that in there.
What's the first one?
I don't know. Let's see.
Surprise.
Should I do Zealot first or should I do one of these new ones first? It's always good to just play the first chord and see how it makes you feel, Yeah, I'll do Zealot first.
Sweet.
Zealot we've actually put out already. And I'm excited to share it on here. We okay, Austin? I let all my searching lead me, I confess. And the more I pride, the more I need the edge. Can a man enter the womb? Can I ask? Can a zealot embrace humanness? preaching on the confidence of men, while I separated righteousness from sin. I was preaching, but my heart was wearing thin. Can a zealot become human? Understand me, I never had a rebel's heart, but this pressure only shows you who you are. And besides, it was my friend upon the cross, and I felt his rejection. If I turned, I'd be lost. Now I'm bleeding for a faith I've never seen, but the fear that held me is finally loosening. I will leave it and let my conscience make amends, so a zealot becomes human. Understand me, I never had a rebel's heart, but this pressure only shows you who you are. And besides, it was my friend upon the cross, and I felt his rejection. If I turned, I'd be lost. Finally, a voice came rushing from the walls. Love freely is what makes you what you are. Then the pride, it fell like ashes from the fire. And I knelt there, born reborn.
Thank you. I still love it.
Thanks, man. This next one is
Wait, we can't go.
we can't go
We
straight
go
in.
that fast? What?
I'm
I have
sorry.
to let that. I want. I have.
I'm embarrassed.
I have so many questions. Zealot is a really.
It's quite a word.
It's quite a power-packed word.
It is.
Can you, like, where does that come from? It feels like an old word, but it feels so right. It feels so right now. I feel like the age of there's so much zealot energy everywhere, 360 degrees.
Yes, we're all zealots in our own way.
And that it almost is what it takes for people's voices to be heard these days. It seems like
that's true.
If you want to cut through the noise, the more zealot you are.
That's true.
The more confident you are and right you are. That's like your only shot, and
that's right.
Feels sad.
That's right. But you miss something in your zealous state, don't you? I think that's what maybe the song's poking at is what you miss when you're in that zealous frame of mind. And I think I think we all know what that's like. I think the the example from the Bible is the story of Nicodemus, being a zealot, like a man of the law, and then being confronted with Jesus, which was outside of his framework of like what was okay. But he's going out and he's curious, and Jesus sort of gives him permission to be human and to see God in this unfamiliar container. So he's used to saying, no, this is where God is. And then Jesus is like, this is where God is. It's on the other side. And he's unfamiliar with the container, but he has to let down the zealous state and what he knows to be right in order to have his eyes open to see God in a new place, in an unfamiliar place. And I think over the last 3 years, that's happened in my life over and over, where I feel like God's looked at me through the eyes of someone I wasn't expecting, or in a situation I wasn't expecting, and then said, hey, can you see me here? And then I felt that same rub, like, oh, no, that doesn't make sense. And then it was just an invitation over and over, and he's still doing it. So I just wanted to write about it.
Yeah, it makes me think of just our conversation about nuance and the lack of it, and like the zealot energy. It's like refuses to see the nuance of life. And I feel so convicted. I mean, myself, just thinking so much when I look back at the past and how much of my life was spent trying to see in black and white, see in like 2-bit.
Yeah.
So much was missing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus is always pulling us like, I want you to see in color. I want you to see like way more than you think you can. And
usually for me, what was missing was just permission to love. That's where the rub would be. It'd be like, I want to love this person better, but I don't feel like I can because they're in the wrong. They're on the outside. They don't fit into my box. So that's what's confusing, is in that state. You're like, for me, I'm like, wait a minute, like, I actually am not able to love people well when I'm in that black and white state, because life is more colorful and nuanced. Which is strange, because that's what God asks us to do. It's like the only thing he asks us to do.
How do you feel when you play that song? Like, does it feel, put some language around.
There's this lyric in there that's like, it's really a story. So I can feel the memories of where I was at when I wrote each line, and how they evolved. But there's one line that says, besides it was my friend on the cross. And that's a very specific memory of having a friend that I just didn't feel like I was able to love well because of where he was at in life. And then just hitting this breaking point of being like, yeah, he's on the cross. He's being crucified by my black and whiteness, by my zealotness. Like, I'm crucifying him. And then I'm just being able to step back and be like, I have to make a choice to love. And that felt like maybe some of the scariest moments in my faith journey. It's like, because it feels like you're turning away from your faith. Ironically, when you choose to love certain people. Like, am I leaving my faith?
It was a sad irony.
It is a sad irony.